Origin of human rights.
Origin of human rights are ideally pinpointed to the year 539 BC. Human rights history is represented by the promulgation of the Magna Charta in 1215, introduced rule of law and the rights and liberties of all persons. The adoption by the UN General Assembly of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948.
Vishaka State of Rajasthan 1997. Subject: Working conditions for women employees. This case came before the Supreme Court as a public interest litigation against State of Rajasthan and Union of India by Vishaka and other women groups. The petitioners demanded enforcement fundamental rights for working women under Articles 14, 19 and 21 of the Constitution. For this, Vishaka guidelines were issued. The judgment also provided basic definitions of sexual harassment at the workplace along with provided guidelines to deal with the same. Selvi vs. State of Karnataka 2010. Subject: Rights of Transgender. The apex court in the following case held brain mapping, lie detector test and narco analysis as violative and unconstitutional under Article 23 of Fundamental Rights. It observed that these techniques can be conducted forcefully on any individual and requires consent for the same. When they are conducted with consent, the material so obtained is regarded as evidence during trial of cases according to Section 27 of the Indian Evidence Act.
Some of the characteristics of human rights are as follows. First, human rights are interdependent and interrelated. Human rights are intertwined because they cannot be accomplished or implemented without the fulfillment of other rights. For example, in some instances, the right to health may be conditional on the right to development, education, or information being satisfied. Second, human rights are irrevocable. Human rights cannot be taken away by any force or authority since they are derived from a man's social character in a community of humans and belong to him simply because he is a human being. No government has the authority to limit or eliminate rights that are sacred, inviolable, and unchangeable. Third, human rights are dynamic. Human rights continue to grow and change in tandem with the state's socio-economic, cultural, and political changes. Judges must interpret laws in ways that are consistent with changing social values. Fourth, human rights are participative and inclusive. Everyone has the right to be involved in and have access to information about the decision-making processes that influence their lives and well-being. The difference between fundamental rights and human rights is that fundamental rights are the rights of a country's residents that are enshrined in its constitution and enforced by legislation. Human rights, on the other hand, are the rights that a person requires in order to live in dignity and freedom. Only those rights that are necessary for a normal life are considered fundamental. Human rights, on the other hand, refer to those rights that are fundamental to daily life and are absolute, meaning they cannot be taken away. Now let's have a look at right to life. Right to life is protected by Article 2 of the Human Rights Act. This means that no one, including the government, will be able to put a stop to an individual's life. It also implies that the government should take adequate actions to protect life by enacting legislation if the life of an individual is in danger. Article 2 is considered to be an absolute right by many people. These are unalienable rights that can never be infringed upon by the government. However, there are times when it does not apply. A person's right to life, for example, is not violated if they die as a result of a public authority, such as the police, using necessary force to either stop them from committing heinous acts of violence or stop them from escaping lawful detention and a riot or revolt by making a valid arrest. Even in these instances, however, the force employed must be necessary and appropriate. When force is used appropriately and only as much as is required to solve an issue, it is said to be proportionate.
Right to education. It is considered as a fundamental and absolute human right which uplifts and empowers socially and economically marginalized adults and children. Every individual, irrespective of their race, gender, caste, religion, and place of birth, is entitled to the right to education. This right was universally recognized ever since the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948 included the Article 26 as an indispensable human right. This right promotes understanding, tolerance, and friendship among the nations. Right to education is included as a fundamental right of India through Article 21A of the Indian Constitution under the 86th Amendment Act, which says that the state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children of the age of 6 to 14 years in such a manner that as the state may by law determine. Education provides awareness among the people and abolishes child labor, abuse, and exploitation due to illiteracy. The Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009 was enacted to provide education as an compulsory right to every children below 14. Education leads to the development of the country. It helps in better utilization of human resources. It is necessary for providing other human rights to the individuals as a whole. Before law. All are equal before the law and are entitled to the equality be protected equally by law. It is an absolute right that ensures that every individual can enjoy their human rights free from discrimination. This right prevents the public entities to not enforce law and other policies in a discriminatory way. It provides equal justice to everyone. Everyone should be equally protected. Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights makes sure that the judicial system should always be fair and systematic, irrespective of power. In India, equality before the law has been declared as a fundamental right by Article 14 of the Constitution of India, which says that the state shall not deny to any person equality before the law or equal protection of the laws within the territories of India. Prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of race, religion, caste, sex, or place of birth. As a citizen, we have the right to enjoy every fundamental rights. When these rights are violated or denied, they can approach the law to provide justice and legal remedy. It is the duty of our judicial system to provide a legal remedy without any partiality or bias and treat everyone equally before the law without any discrimination.
Protecting human rights is an important goal for every individual and for society as a whole. The Human Rights Commission staff work hard to ensure compliance with human rights laws. The Commission also works to help the public gain a better understanding of the importance of protecting all people from violation of their human rights.